Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Season 2 semifinals for Owlet. This is the Minors Division. I am Corbec, joined here by Widow Only, bringing you the color commentary, and SilentMarine on the production. And we have an exciting match for you tonight between ExPandable Odyssey and Flashpoint. Kind of an interesting matchup between these two teams, something a lot of people have been looking forward to. Widow, what do you have for us about these two squads?
So both teams were in the top three in stage 2. At the end of stage 2, we've got Flashpoint. We've got Flashpoint 17-3, and we've got ExPandable Odyssey at 12-8. So Flashpoint does have the statistical advantage, but we'll just have to see how it goes down. It could be an upset tonight.
That's right, and these two teams have actually met before, if I remember correctly. Stage 2, Week 5, ExPandable and Flashpoint went at it, and unfortunately, Flashpoint kind of wiped the floor with the folks from Odyssey. So that may be a little fresh in their mind as we come into this, Widow, but it is the playoffs. Anything can happen. Do you feel that one team really has the decisive advantage out here outside of just the statistics?
Yeah, I do feel that Flashpoint has the advantage. I've seen them play. I've seen their coordination. I've seen kind of how they run things, and I do feel like they have somewhat of a coordinational advantage over ExPandable.
Well, there you go. And a coordination advantage can make all the difference as we come into our first map here, which is going to be Lijiang Tower. Of course, King of the Hill, so always a good, exciting way to start what is a best-of-5 series, I believe, technically, or best-of-4, as it may be. Any idea what you might expect these teams to run here on Lijiang?
I mean, Lijiang is still a very goats-heavy map. I know personally, my team, we like to run the Chengdu comp, the Far Mercy, the Sombra, the Ball. I'd love to see that. That's always making for some good fighting. Or we could see Dive. I'd say one of those 3 comps is a definite, and maybe Mirrored, because Goats is very popular. So I mean, I'd have to go with the Mirrored Goats here if I were to take a guess.
It certainly is, and in some of the games that I've casted though in the Minors Division, I have noticed that the Goats composition has not always been favored. A lot of standard sort of 2-2-2 being run. Not that there's anything particularly wrong with that, mind you. It's just interesting to see how teams address it. And taking a look at the starting lineups, at least one side here has gone in for the Goats. Not so sure about the other one, though. That does not look like Goats to me.
It's not Overwatch here. So we've got Goats on the side of ExPandable Odyssey here, and we've got, let's see, we've got the Monkey. I think they're going more for a kind of dive comp here with Pharah that can create crossfire.
And there's the Mercy switch as well to set up the full pharmacy. But out comes ExPandable, not wasting any time, trying to get on the point first, looking to get that early advantage that will set them ahead here. And they're actually going to go around the outside, no fear of the boops, and justifiably so. There's not a lot they can do about it. Here they are on point already, far on the outside, trying to rain some damage. Can't quite make it work. More than happy to hunker down here, circling the wagons. Boots on the outside with the Tracer trying to get some damage in, and that far outside as well. There comes a Coalescence. Already early ult, a barrage in the back line. Doesn't really get anything. Boots looking for an early pick, but Dese turns around and trades it right back out. Winston now trying to escape from danger. He won't make a good flail there. Will put him down, and the point already captured here. So the fight, I think, is just wrapping up with him.
Oh yeah, ExPandable Odyssey definitely had the advantage. They got the point first, and they are running Goats. Goats is extremely hard to dislodge, especially with the Far Mercy. You can't do much on point. And I feel like Flashpoint just got a little bit greedy with their ult. The Far ulted kind of point blank and was just able to be taken out, and that's basically fight win from there.
Well, ExPandable certainly holding down the point. Flashpoint not looking to change their tune very much, and Ash coming out now in place of that Tracer. So looking for some early pick potential here, probably. Far again on the outside with the Mercy on the hip, trying to rain some damage in, but this ExPandable little wagon circle here does not want to move off point. It's a siege of the dojo. Dojo looking a little worse for wear, actually. There's a lot of holes in that floor.
Yeah, coming into this fight, Flashpoint has the ult advantage. I mean, we've got 4 ults on the side of Flashpoint, as opposed to almost 4 or 3 on the side of.
Oh, and it's a barrage.
Barrage comes out.
Coalescence to answer. Transcended just a half a second too late to save Ronaldo there, but they will allow them to get the res off. And Surfy with the huge primal rage gets 4 in that. sends them all down to the streets below, and that will re-secure them the point on the back of some amazing Winston play.
That was a real great play for Surfy. I mean, he got 3 with the Primal, and also ExPandable Odyssey, they used 3 ults in order to keep the point. And that didn't work out. Surfy just kind of, reigned supreme with that Primal and got 3 of them off. And coming into this fight, Flashpoint still has 3 ults. They still got the bomb, they still got Bob, they've got Mercy ult. So I feel like I'd like to see some Diva Bomb kind of thrown into point, and I think that'll be able to dislodge them.
Well, the early picks all going the way of Flashpoint here. Not a lot of presence on point. These last 2 remaining members of ExPandable trying to live as long as they can. Valkyrie coming out there at the end. Widow, that was maybe a little bit excessive considering there's only a baby Diva getting staggered on point.
Yeah, I do feel like Mercy could have saved her ult. I mean, we still got almost 3 ultimates still on the side of Flashpoint. They still got that ult advantage. Although coming into this fight, we see that ExPandable Odyssey, they have the Grav combo with Bomb. And I think if they run that right, then they'll be able to just take the point off of that. We see that Flashpoint is pretty grouped up right now, with the Zen and the Ashe kind of staying in the back. So, I mean, if they can grab the Zen and the Ashe and maybe get a bomb combo going, then that should, net them this win on the point.
Well, there's the play, and there's the grab thrown out already. A bubble goes down to just try and protect the people outside of it. It doesn't really work, though. Now they're pushing on to point. Barrage coming in on top. That's Moira, major healing down. Bob joins the fray as well, right in the middle of everything, firing away, knocked out of position. Still, the kills mainly coming Flashpoint's way. Reinhardt anchored in, throws down the hammer down, cannot follow up on it, though. He's almost immediately burned, and once more, Flashpoint will hold the point. So setting up quite a fortress of their own.
Yeah, that barrage from Rialto really netted them that win there with the crossfire from the Pharah. And we saw Rhino come out from the side of ExPandable Odyssey. I feel like they could have saved that. They could have left the point and kind of went for a softer group there, and they might have had another chance to contest and maybe, win the fight on point.
Perhaps, but I mean, they were over the mystical 85% number usually when people start to want to use whatever ults they can in just the hopes of winning. Unfortunately, maybe bit off just a little bit more than they can chew there. Looking at the setups here, we've got Snoats, the May Goats, coming out for Flashpoint. On the other side, just going to run a standard sort of Zen Goats you could see in any old Overwatch match these days. How effective do you think that May is going to be here inside the control center for Flashpoint?
I really do love running May on this point. I feel like Flashpoint's definitely going to have the compositional advantage. They have the May to just wall off the Rhine, and then with that, it's basically, 1v6 onto the Rhine, get the kill, and you can just dismantle goats that way. It's a really great comp to run on this point, especially with the, small hallways and whatnot.
Well, Flashpoint looking for the fight in the server room. They won't get it there. ExPandable bringing the fight onto the point. That's not working out for them at all. Paco El Taco just doming Reinhardt there at the end as they're cleaning up kills here. And Jaxus over the edge of the map. And that's the gong signaling the team kill there. So that will be a hard reset in the first point sort of capture here for the folks from Flashpoint.
Yeah, Flashpoint definitely, they saw their opportunity to kind of collapse onto the Rhine of ExPandable Odyssey. They were able to, kind of out-damage the other comp. They were able to just kill the Rhine, and then, from there it's basically just free picking with Snoats.
They're rotating back now. The fight in the server room they've been waiting for. They're finally going to get it. Surfy holding the front line here, trying to bait somebody into the room. You can see Ronaldo waiting with the bash just around the corner, but nobody quite wants to bite on that from ExPandable. Here they come in. There's the May wall. Completely split the team in half, but they need to take some sort of advantage of it. They do. They get the Reinhardt out of it. That's not good. Jackson's in trouble there as well. Will fall back. Surfy swinging away for the fences. Pippin looking slightly in danger, but he will be kept up by the rest of the team. They're forming a good little death ball, but it's Big Hammer down coming in. Trimatar caught, and that will be brought down almost immediately. Now the pushback, Surfy driving them back out of the server room, and it looks like they will reset here, Widow. They don't want to continue this fight. Though even as I say that, Diva trying to re-engage there. It's a little bit, oh no, and loses the mech. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I think that ExPandable really needs to kind of back up, cut their losses, and just regroup. We saw Snoats do exactly what it was designed to do. Boots 2291 walled off about half of ExPandable Odyssey. They were able to just take the 6v3, clean up on point, and then Surfy came out with the Shatter, got the remaining members of ExPandable Odyssey, and now they're just kind of staggered. They seem to be pushing in now at 6 with Rally.
Well, the Rally is out and the mech is back. ExPandable now looking in a do or die situation here, has to capture the point. They're trying to rotate the round and take the fight. Oh, and there goes Lucio really early on, though the Zen duel goes the way of Pippin. Transcendence coming out will keep the team up, shows you how essential that can be. Freeze going in there as well. He might have effectively canceled out both those ults, but whether they can win the team fight coming out on the other side of it is not clear. A bomb up in the air, following up on the Shatter, will get one, but really it's not enough here. And they're just looking to clean up the point at this stage, Widow.
Yeah, they did allow ExPandable Odyssey to get a little bit of percent on there. That might have been a, comms issue, maybe not enough communication. But Surfy just kind of got the counter shatter there, kind of won the Ryan mind games, and they were able to win that way. I think that ExPandable Odyssey could have switched off of just regular goats. Snoats is kind of, a really good counter against standard goats. I feel like they could have went, triple DPS to try to uproot the Mei that way, and go on different flanks, create the crossfire, distract them. And I think that maybe that sort of comp change is what they would have needed in order to win that point, for sure. Absolutely huge primal by Surfy.
Yeah, getting a second look at Surfy with the huge primal rage there, but despite an early surge there, Widow, things did not go the way of ExPandable. They did well to grab a hold on the point, but they couldn't really ever get it back once they were out.
Yeah. That Mei on Control Center really is doing a great job of uprooting goats. I mean, you kind of have to push in a really small hallway, or if you push main, I mean, that's still, kind of the same width for wall. So with the Mei, kind of the old reliable wall off the Rhine, that's just basically a team fight win every time.
Indeed, and I mean, you could see they were trying to take into account it. It's not like ExPandable did not realize what was going to happen, and they were trying to bait out the Mei wall as best they could, but never really quite was able to go the way they wanted. Teams are switching sides now, as I understand it, coming into our second map here, which will be Rialto. One of my personal favorite maps. I quite like it a lot. How do you feel about that one, Widow? I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely love Rialto. It is kind of
a hard map.
Yeah, it is a hard map. It's a very hard map to get around that first point and that
the corner of death.
First corner, yes, exactly.
You see everybody struggle with it. It doesn't matter what elo you're in, is professionals, contenders, Owlet, whatever it may be. The corner of death is the corner of death always.
Yeah, I mean, attackers really, really need to win that first team fight to get around that corner. Once they get around that corner, then it's basically you can just kind of snowball to cap the first point if you kind of push up and hold there. I do feel like that we're gonna see more of everybody's favorite comp. I do feel like we're gonna see more goats coming out in Rialto. I know it's a very viable strategy to kind of hold that first corner as defenders with goats and just kind of steamroll anybody who tries to get past there.
Yeah, I imagine that the tight alleyways and sort of the very little room for sort of elaborate flanks or anything like that do make it a very favorable sort of area for a goat's composition to be run. Of course, with the introduction of Baptiste, right, we've seen a sort of uptick, I would say, and the pirate ship, always a favorite too on Rialto. You get your angry machine gun robot on top of the payload and just go for as long as you can. Lord knows I've engaged exactly that. Looks like there will be some swaps here as well. Melchizzy will be coming in on the side of ExPandable. Worth noting too, Widow, all the ExPandable folks have the Chengdu Hunters pandas as their logo, which I think I can appreciate. The other side's using cute logos, but hey, go figure.
Hey man, coordinated logos are supposed to give you a 30% increase in damage and team coordination.
Oh, is that true? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's the yes secret. That's my team secret.
They built that in, huh? That's interesting. Can't get rank Q or get roll Q, but we can get a 30% team coordination bonus if you just all use matching profile icons. Coming into Rialto. Fun facts. Flashpoint again, picking up this map. Do you think, Widow?
It's kind of hard to tell right now. I want to see what comps they're running. I feel like Flashpoint, first point, they could do some Far Mercy and kind of flank on that right building, kind of behind them, and then they could kind of flank behind as, you know, afar or through that alley, and that can definitely uproot any defenders holding that corner right there. I mean, I would like to see what comps they're running before I make any definite, you know, kind of guesses on as to who's going to take this map.
Well, how very cautious and wise of you, like a good color commentator. We have noticed, though, that I think there's been some hesitation on the part of Flashpoint. I don't know if I necessarily call it hesitation, but I guess there's been some reluctance to run the more traditional compositions. They started out with a dive. We saw them run the snoats, and I mean, even though it's a goats variant, it's not the most typical one. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ball, ExPandable has been trying to run pretty much just the bog standard what you would consider to be a meta composition. I don't know how much of a big difference that's really made, though, to be honest. It almost like those off meta comps are more effective in a way down here in the minors.
Oh yeah, no, off meta comps, they can catch you off guard for sure, especially if they know that ExPandable is going to kind of lean toward goats, they can make those off meta choices and definitely catch them off guard. We see that ExPandable Odyssey, is on the Far Mercy on defense, and they're running pretty similar comps. I mean, we've got the Far Mercy on both sides, we've got the Winston on both sides, we've got two snipers on both sides, and it does seem like ExPandable is definitely going to have more of that long-range DPS with the Widow. Definitely be more of a counter to Flashpoint's Far Mercy.
I was expecting maybe some last-minute swaps here. It's sort of a strange setup, this 3 DPS, the 2 supports, 1 tank, but I guess if it works for you, it works for you. We can see what they're gonna come up with here. Oh, already picked out of the side, Siguli, just taking Heartbeat out right there on the Widowmaker. These are not friendly skies at all. A hack on the Diva won't really do much here, as they're more than happy to just push this around the corner. Melkizzy chasing away Surfy from up there. Had to drop the bubble to do it, though. Might regret losing that this early on, but we haven't even seen Heartbeat since they got sniped.
Yeah, we are seeing some changes on the side of Flashpoint. I think they're leaning toward a more they're leaning toward more of a dive comp now. We've got Widow, Genji dive. I think that'll definitely do more against ExPandable's defense here. You can uproot that Ana. Ana's kind of a sitting duck over there, like way in the back. If they can, you know, kind of flank behind, dive the Ana and the Widow in one go, then they can definitely take this point.
Well, it might not even be necessary. Melkizzy going down early there in these very disparate fights, but Ronaldo's going to follow it up by getting click-clack as well. And now they're pushing forward here. Jax just drops on the point for a second, just trying to hold on, but they'll back off as well, trying to catch Ronaldo out in the back line. Here comes Surfy in to help. Heartbeat following shortly thereafter on the Diva. Brawl happening in the top room here. Neither team really asserting any superiority. Meanwhile, Rip and Pippin getting taken down by Boots on the Widowmaker. So deadly and with tons of space to operate. Cost them a Diva mech as well on the other side. Little bit of a Widow duel going on, but it doesn't look like Boots is fussed much at all as they continue to push forward here. There's another kill.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I said before, it is really, really easy to snowball this point as attackers. As well, you get the main tank down, and that's kind of a long trek from spawn. So you get the main tank down on the side of ExPandable, and then from there you can just kind of clean up everyone else. Since you have the full dive comp and you do not have a Winston to contest you. And using that, they were just able to kind of, you know, get in there, get the Widow, get the Ana, and then clean up the rest and take first point with ease.
Well, Rainbow going down early, I should say. That's a bit of a mistake there, perhaps. Unfortunate to lose the Ana so early on, but Boots remains completely dominant on this Widowmaker. Takes out the opposite number there, continuing to go. Farah now over the top, trying to get some damage in on the supports in the back line. Has to withdraw almost immediately. Surfy, though, isolated himself, whether he realizes it or not. He's going to have to get out of here. Some serious danger. He's been slept as well. They're trying to bring him down. He's antied. He will pop the Winston ult just to keep going. Here, Trimatar releasing the barrage in the back line. But again, it's Boots just cleaning up kills on this Widowmaker. You wonder if They really got to do something about Boots. He's been on they've been on an absolute tear, I should say.
Yeah, they really do. They need to, I would say either, I mean, you could take advantage of, you know, the kind of dive comp and just run goats here. I know, you know, kind of run goats forehead is the catch-all for that comp, but I feel like a comp change from the side of Expandable would really net them the kind of payload control that they need. We do see that Flashpoint.
Oh, there's the Dragon Blade out.
There's the Dragon Blade as a
bombs up in the air, actually clears out Rainbow again. Taco El Taco getting Melkizzy, who's been absolutely punished this entire map. That being said, Ronaldo actually following him to the grave not far thereafter, kind of causing a bit of an awkward stalemate here. Boots, once again, kind of ducked out from behind a corner there and just picked off the far end. He'll add the Widow to the kill tallies as well, and Boots on that Widowmaker can't quite seem to make it work. Will go down eventually. Can't break the team forward, but boy, is he trying.
Yeah, I really liked what Expandable did with that Pharah. They were able to just kind of have a fight on point, and then the Pharah up in the sky, off to the left or right, creating crossfire. And that's really good for winning fights. You kind of split their attention, but then you've got Boots over there on the Widow that's just kind of like the roadblock in the face of Expandable's Pharah.
Well, it's been a very...
Yeah,
it's been a very series sort of disparate fights, kind of these almost one-on-one engagements. But Surfy in a difficult position there. An early pick again on Rainbow. On the Ana has gone down first in the last, I think, 3 fights here. A little bit of pressure put on Boots. They have a Nano Monkey out on the field. He's not even angry, but he is doing a little bit of damage. He manages to drive off the Widowmaker, push the rest of the team back here. The res will come in, so Melkizzy is back up, electrocuting his opposite ape there as they'll fall back once more. Really no choice here. Flashpoint just going back and back and back. Looks like they're thinking about just getting a hard reset in before they come in again. But yeah, some sort of it's been some very disjointed fights here, I would say, Widow. They don't even feel like, they quite feel like half-hearted engagements, really.
Yeah, Expandable definitely has the ultimate advantage, so they've got to... Let me just pause real quick for this Nano Blade.
That's okay, Nano Blade in. Bomb over the top, and that'll shut Ronaldo down. Oh no, 2 ultimates taken out for the price of 1, and that is unfortunate. A Primal Rage, I think, going on as well, but no real luck to be had there. Melkizzy will get brought down. Now a Primal Rage on the opposite side. It's Surfy just trying to clear the point, and they're continue to push it forward. Valkyrie comes out, but maybe just a little bit too late. Will keep ripping Pippin up. Sets Siguli up in the backline, though, to get an early pick on Boots, who I think will get... No, that's the Diva that gets rezzed back in. Unfortunately, won't be able to get into the mech. That's unfortunate. A rapid push there by Flashpoint to prevent that from happening. Taco El Taco now unleashing some Transcendence just to keep his team up. Another early engage by Melkizzy. Barrage in the backline gets absolutely wild. It doesn't actually get Taco El Taco. Let's take that back. But again, the kills going back and forth fast and furious. The fight pretty much equal at this point in time. 15 seconds left. Not a lot of time for a reset. Surfy moving around here, looking for the opportunity to jump back in and just touch the payload. They can't quite seem to make it, though. 5 seconds left on the clock. Waiting. It's Surfy who'll have to touch. No, he's brought down almost immediately. The Widowmaker finds him. Heartbeat won't get there. Oh, and it's too late on the bomb. Series of awkward engagements, I would say. Widow ends with a short push, actually.
Yeah, that was a really great hold on that corner from Expandable. They just kind of staggered their ultimates there. The Pharah basically always had ult. You got the Pharah Mercy, just kind of spam into the dive tanks, always have ult. CO was doing a really great job at the end there of contesting Boots on Widow, because if you're Boots right now, you've got to worry about an enemy Widowmaker and a Pharah on you, so... CO was just kind of able to distract Boots, which gave Triamatar on the Pharah just kind of free reign to do whatever they wanted to Flashpoint, and they were able to build ult extremely fast and just kind of stagger ultimates that way, and that was a really great hold there because of that.
Indeed, CO doing a good job there, kind of holding it back, but Boots on that Widowmaker was deadly the entire time, though, like we said, never really enough to actually break the deadlock in favor of his team. Kind of an interesting application, I would say, of dive compositions there. Never quite taking the engagements you would expect them to take, but maybe we should give the support some credit too, Widow, for kind of hanging back and not really getting drawn in, barring some unfortunate deaths for one Ana who may or may not be wearing the color red.
Yeah, for sure. Triamatar's ultimates in the backline of Flashpoint really enabled them to just kind of win every fight that they had the ult. They got the Zen most of the times in those ultimates, and you know, you're down you're down the orb, you're down the Harmony orb, you're down the Discord orb. That's just a lot of extra damage and healing that you're missing out on. And that combined with, you know, the Pharah just kind of damage boosted shots, you get 2 shot on squishies, and that definitely netted them that defense right there.
Well, indeed, Boost, we know, is a little bit new to a team environment, but definitely showing no signs of going down because of it. Now successfully ensconced behind this Orisha shield up on the high ground with Surfy and Heartbeat here. And Paco El Taco with an early pick there actually gets 2. Why not? Great Zenyatta play there, really putting the damage in that support role for a second. Oh my god, if you squint just enough, he almost looks like Jonak. Almost. CO back in the spawn. Didn't quite like that either. There's a Winston stuck behind enemy lines. Bit of an awkward place to be.
Yeah, this bunker comp is gonna fare really well against Expandables, you know, kind of far mercy dive. I mean, if they can just stay up there, they can contest cart from there. They've got the Jonak, they've got Paco El Taco, or Jonak, I should say, on the Zen, just, you know, getting the picks he needs to get. And your best course right now is, I would say, the Pharah needs to, you know, they need to kind of group off one of the members of Flashpoint, just kind of, you know, go in on that, and I think that's definitely what they did, because they're kind of cleaning up right there.
The comps have been split. Melkizzy quick to get in on the action and clean up some skills. Rip and Pippin on the Ana actually putting some damage out as well. Not something you always see a lot of Ana in the kill feed, but sure enough, and Triamatar, I should say, gets rezzed back into it there on the Pharah. We'll put in some long range shots, hoping to maybe deter a little bit of a recontest. Melkizzy again. I was going to say he was a little overextended, but there comes the Primal Rage. Unfortunately, it won't help him. Ronaldo with the finishing blow, and the cart continuing to advance here. Surfy just clearing out a little bit of space for the team. Stands in the doorway there and says, "You shall not pass," but they're going to back off here, I think, and go for the reset. CO looking for an early pick, maybe something to help break the deadlock. Can't quite find that. Meanwhile, Triamatar up in the air, chucking in the damage. Can't quite find anything either. Paco El Taco is rezzed back into it. Out comes the Bob, though, to help with the hold. Bob, though, decides he's going to take a little robot nap there on the point. Point blank barrage from behind will take out Paco El Taco, though it does cost Pharah their life. And an angry ball hamster, empowered by a little bit of Grandma's special juice, comes charging on, and that will be enough to break the point over for them. That was an interesting series of events. Did not expect the nano boosted hamster at the end there.
Yeah, we saw the nano. We saw the nano come out. We saw the barrage come out, and you know, as SilentMarine left. All right.
Well, that is a bit unfortunate, and maybe a little bit of problems from the production side, but that's okay. We'll
killed, I think, 4 or 5 there. That alone just enabled them to take that point with you. It's a great barrage.
And the nano as well, just to help Pharah survive what's usually more of a suicide ult than anything else. Not as if Triamatar hasn't shown that time and again, but it worked. That time cleared everything open for them. They managed to push through. I almost wonder, though, Widow, could that point have been wrapped up a little bit earlier if they'd been a little bit more cautious around that bomb that was thrown out by Heartbeat there at the end?
Yeah, I do feel like a little bit of ult tracking on the side of Expandable would have, you know, kind of helped them predict the bomb. Expandable does have the advantage of that corner right there. They can just kind of back behind and get away from the bomb. I mean, for sure, if the two hadn't died to that bomb, then they would have just taken it right then and there, because that's a great bomb side of Expandable from Jax.
Yeah, it was a spectacular bomb to just clear the area a little bit. Looks like we are going into a halftime now. Apparently we're going to hang for at least 5 minutes. I don't know. Are we planning on filling 5 minutes of time? I'm not entirely sure. We'll get SilentMarine to get back to us on that in a second. So far, though, it's been a pretty tight matchup here. Have your opinions changed at all from what you've seen so far?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we saw Stage 2, Week 5, Flashpoint. You know, they 4-0'd Expandable. It was a pretty tough loss. Although, right here and right now, Expandable is definitely showing signs of life. I mean, it's 1-1 right now, and Expandable had a very, very great defense on the second point, in the middle of the second point. They had a great defense there. They had really great ult management. They were able to keep rotating that ult. That Pharah ult got at least 1 pick every fight, regardless of if the Pharah died or not. I mean, most of the time she was able to just get rezzed right back up by their Mercy. But definitely they had superior ultimate management there, and that's definitely what got them this win.
Yeah, indeed, the alt management has been pretty good there. I mean, they definitely Expandable, showing that this isn't going to be a complete walkover on behalf of Flashpoint. A little bit of worries perhaps coming there out of the first map on Lijiang Tower, where Flashpoint looked relatively dominant, I would say, coming into this. But no, ExPandable definitely putting up a good fight there on Rialto, holding the line. Trying to get a look ahead here to what our next map is going to be in the playoffs, and I can't actually remember off of the top of my head. It'll be Hanamura, so 2CP coming in. Always presents some interesting challenges. Do you think we'll be seeing that dive again?
I'm not sure. I mean, let's see. So Flashpoint ran Snoats right on control set.
Yes, they did.
And they're on defense right now. So I do think that they're gonna come out with that Snoats again. It's really hard to uproot on a defense Hanamura. There's really only one choke that you can go past. There's not many flanks that you can take if you're expandable. So I feel like they're gonna run that Snoats. I would like to see Dive come out, because if Expandable runs goats into that presumed May comp, then it's not gonna fare well. So I did like what they put out with that Far Mercy. That definitely gave Flashpoint some trouble. And if they run that again on attack, then I think they'll take first point pretty easily, and hopefully snowball in a second.
Oh, yeah. Well, the snowball into second is often real on Hanamura. Such a challenge to attack that first point as well. Always good to see some innovative defenses. One thing I have noticed here, though, Widow, is that neither team has really succumbed to the lure of the Bastion bunker on that Rialto defense. Instead, we saw an Ash. We saw no hide nor hair of the new hero Baptiste. Do you think that's something we might want to change or we might see change going into Hanamura?
Is Baptiste enabled in playoffs?
Oh, I don't know. No, he's not enabled in playoffs.
No.
So that's my bad. Oh, interesting. Well, fair enough. Overwatch League maybe ahead of the time. The other league I was in as well. So that would probably explain, or that answers my question better than anything else, why we won't be seeing any of the Bastion bunker. So Ash bunker, I think it will be. That both the Widowmaker players, the Hitscam players, have been showing us some pretty interesting plays so far. That almost seems like it could be a telling duel too going into Hanamura, right? A map in which Widowmaker is not exactly useless.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, CO and Boots are both great Widowmakers and miners, and those two, they have a tendency to both kind of take the 1v1, prove who's the alpha male, making it effectively a 5v5 for both teams most of the time. I mean, sometimes that changes. Boots will sometimes focus Expandable's Pharah, and then he's got two things to deal with, but I do think that they may run Widow. I'd like to see some Widow dive potentially coming out from the side of Expandable. And Widow on defense they'll definitely have the advantage with Widow on defense. They've got more cover, they've got more support from kind of supports in the back line, and they just generally have more places to go.
Indeed, and I mean, given how effective Boots Widow was, at least at the beginning of that map, until CO started really stepping up to the challenge and counteracting it a little bit, the temptation is undoubtedly there to run the Widowmaker. A substitution coming in here. Surfy will be stepping out. Piper, who I do actually have on good authority, actually plays the bad pipes, hence the name. And it's true, I have it on good authority. We'll be coming in here to play the main tank role a little bit, maybe get some Reinhardt action in. I do believe that's one of the roles Piper is relatively well known for, setting up here on the Hanamura defense. So maybe no bunker coming out of Flashpoint. Not entirely sure though.
No,
one of the things. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry.
No,
I was
you're
just gonna
fine.
say, we'll just have to, we'll have to see what comp they pick. I mean, I'm definitely assuming that the comp they pick is going to utilize the Rhine, so I'm more leaning toward some variation of goats on defense from Flashpoint, but you don't know. I mean, they could run some sort of bunker with Orisa or Rhine.
Could indeed. It's not as if double shields aren't sometimes seen, more of maybe a ladder strat than an organized play strat, but it's not as if it doesn't exist. Hanamura, I think, is a map, and I've already said, that presents a lot of interesting challenges, but especially when you're coming to the first point, because there's really those only 3 gateways to go into. I noticed that Ronaldo actually has a little Pharah icon. Boots has the Widow cute icon next to their names. So, maybe we're getting some hints about what we might be seeing. But then again, Paco El Taco, who's been spending an awful lot of time on Zenyatta, has a Genji cute icon. So maybe not. Perhaps not something we should read into too much, all things considered. Looks like we may be transitioning into this map. For those of you just joining us, you are watching a semifinals game here, Season 2, Owlet Minors Division. This is Flashpoint versus ExPandable Odyssey. The score is tied up 1-1, going here into Hanamura, so map number 3. Of course, as was mentioned before, these two teams have met before. Stage 2, week 5. Flashpoint beat ExPandable Odyssey rather handily going on that week, but not today. The fight's in ExPandable, and they're going to make them work for it.
Oh yeah, for sure. ExPandable they definitely are better at running that far mercy, I'd say. They have really great ult management as well, so I think that, if they keep on doing what they're doing with the whole rotating ults and have Trimatar on that Pharah, then they could take the map win here and kind of snowball in a second point.
Yeah, I do think it's entirely possible. I mean, Pharah has been used effectively here many a time, as we get a nice view out there to the Japanese skyline. Be interesting to see what they do come out with ultimately, and where even they decide to set up and kind of hold the fort down, if that is what they're going to go with. Popular strategies I've seen lately have usually involved holding up on that small little bit of high ground there near the big window, but whether or not they go for that, I don't know. We'll see. A Reinhardt composition obviously would favor something maybe a little bit more aggressive, and we're about to find out what we'll be looking at. About 5 seconds.
5 seconds on the clock. Let's see.
Oh, there we go. Oh, well, that's perhaps not exactly what I was expecting, but some interesting coming out here. A not quite dive on one side and a not quite dive on the other, by the looks of it. Pharmacy's actually being featured in both team starting lineups, Widow.
Yeah, Pharmacy's, I feel like CO on that Widow is definitely going to have, kind of the advantage over Boots, just the more long range kind of, you can take cover more often and can take out the Pharah that way. But it does seem like they're kind of going to play a little bit split here on the defense side of Flashpoint. They've got D the top right, we've got Piper kind of over there by the choke, and I think their plan of attack is just kind of all converge on one spot here with the Pharah acting as crossfire.
That might indeed be the plan. Let's see, though, if it gets spoiled just a little bit by ExPandable. Melkizzy sitting in the ball, waiting just outside the door. The rest of the team to go. Here comes Melkizzy rolling into the right, actually. Ambushes the Ashe on the outside, but the action's over there where CO gets taken down by Ronaldo early on here. So 1 DPS down out of 3. The res will come in. CO now actually switching over. Yeah, it does look like they'll be switching. Is that to a more of a... Yes, it's goats.
Yep,
I do.
It's goats.
Can't live with it, can't live without it.
I mean, it's a very, very viable comp against Flashpoint's defense here. I mean, goats into this comp is effectively a 6v4. If you push in and kind of ignore that far mercy and just all converge onto point, you can make it a really handily 4v6 here and just win it that way. And then, clean up the far mercy after.
Well, a little bit of hesitation at the door there cost Melkizzy his life. Didn't quite look like the rest of the team wanted to commit, so they backed right back out almost immediately. It's one thing to say you can ignore the fire up in the Sky Widow. It's another thing entirely to do it when the rockets are raining down.
Yeah, that is true. I feel like, ExPandable, they need to play kind of more grouped here. They need to all just, kind of go right up on the Rhine and just push in. Goats is meant to, kind of steamroll the point, and if you just push in, go straight either to the right, I'd say, in cover, kind of avoid that far mercy, then they can definitely win the fight that way. And that's exactly what they're doing. I'm so proud.
It's almost like they're listening to you, grouped up in a tight ball. They push in through the gate. They're going up to the high ground here. They're dancing around a little bit, maybe trying to isolate one of the team or just get cover from the fire rockets. Unfortunately, that will cost Click their life early on here. Rialto more than happy to continue to pump fire into that ball. And again, the hesitation seems to be killing them just a little bit. Easy for us to sit here in the casting booth and tell them they need to go forward, though it's not our virtual lives on the line. But they're looking just for a second to see if they can get an opening. Melkizzy definitely wants to go forward. Not exactly sure what they're waiting for. The rotation coming in again, trying to use these buildings to cover their approach to the point. Melkizzy finally dropping in. Here comes the rest of the team. There they are sitting on. An Angry Monkey coming out. A Bob in there as well. Just completely zoning things out. Melkizzy cut off and brought down. The nano thrown in on the Angry Monkey. Perhaps a little bit unnecessary, but Piper does the best he can with it. Gets two boots as well, and a good boop there on the Diva by Rialto. Just throw them off at the end, and they will secure that point. So a lot of time wasted, Widow, for very little push.
Yeah, Flashpoint definitely had the ult advantage in there in that team fight, as well as, you know, the Pharah just kind of raining down. I should take back what I said. I think with this comp, I don't think you exactly want to ignore the Pharah. I'd say maybe, you know, pressure her with the Diva a bit. Just keep taking down that Mercy's damage too, because, you know, Mercy does not regen health if she's constantly being damaged. So I'd say just pepper the Mercy and get them to kind of play, you know, more cautious, and then you might be able to push into play.
Oh, Rialto, though, with the huge barrage over the backside will actually clear things out right there. Rialto finishing off another kill. Pharah just absolutely sweeping them away on the point. And it cost them a coalescence as well. Rip and Pippin couldn't resist releasing the ultimate, but now 4 ultimates on the deck, Widow. That's not bad as we come down to just 10 seconds. Somebody's gonna have to touch.
Yeah, hopefully somebody will be able to touch point there, because ExPandable does have the ultimate advantage coming into this fight. They've used Rally, they've used V, they've got the Grav Bomb combo. I'd like to see that come out.
Oh, Melkizzy, an early victim. Bomb in, gets one. It's Rainbow. That's a huge pick there, taking out the Mercy. They're still fighting. Nano Diva, I believe, on the point, or maybe Diva on fire. Just anti-nade comes flying in, though, gets two. That's costing the Diva mech a lot of health. Heartbeat forced right off the point. They will actually get a tick here, so they've got a foothold. Pharah still in the sky, unleashes another barrage point blank. Gets absolutely no one. Zarya cleaning up the kills here. Somebody's going to have to push back on. Heartbeat, the only one who's close, and I think they're going to give it to him. So the absolute last second, with the investment of, I count 5 ultimates, 6 technically, if you add the barrage, I think, on top of every... Or no, that was the other team. So 5 ultimates, and they do take it in the end with only 4 minutes on the clock.
That was a great bomb from Jax. They got exactly what they needed to. They got the Mercy, they got Rainbow from the side of Flashpoint, and then that's basically goodbye heals for the Pharah, because you've got the Ana heals who needs to focus on the 2 dive tanks, and the Pharah without any heals, that just kind of, you know, ripped the whole team comp apart. And then Sio just kind of yeeted a grab all the way from the choke and got 3 into there, and that just helped them clean up and, you know, kind of make that point win a definite.
Well, here they come, charging in the narrow hallway up to the high ground. On the Reinhardt leading the charge. A good boop, though, will split them down. They'll have to come fight this one out on point, and Bob more than happy to jump in. Huge anti-nade in the midst of everything. That cost Melkizzy his life. Triamatar not far behind, and now they're just cleaning up the debris, holding on to the... There's also a dojo here on Hanamura.
That was a great nade from Paco Taco. That got like 3 or 4 members of ExPandable Odyssey into that, and they were just able to clean up from there. Now, we do see that ExPandable Odyssey is coming up on 5 ultimates here. They definitely have the advantage. I would like to see, you know, either a Shatter Grav combo, or, you know, my personal favorite as a DPS player in Brig Jail is Grav and Rally, and just kind of, you know, mace to the face everyone in the Grav. That's also a very reliable combo. Or they could just wait for the bomb and just kind of peek until you get the bomb, and then, you know, Grav bomb combo, which is pretty reliable as long as you have the shield focus.
Well, here they come up the narrow hallway again. They live for the brawl. They want the brawl. Will they find it on the high ground? Grav goes in. A barrage on the other side, trying to figure out, gets nothing. Sound barrier deployed will protect most of the team here. Still ultimates on the deck. They drop in. Diva bomb over the top. Doesn't get anyone, but Piper will get re-res back into a coalescence coming across. Now it's another huge anti-nade. Somebody sign that on up for the NFL. What an arm. such accuracy, but it doesn't really seem to have made much of a difference. They're just clearing the point right now. A Nano Monkey in the form of Piper coming on, trying to get some sort of kill. They will finally find CO on that Zarya, but a Diva Bomb up in the air, nothing really to block it. Shatter comes in as well. It's 3. Well comboed ultimates make that 2 ticks now, heading for a 3rd. Somebody's got to touch if they want to keep it alive. Ash, the only person who's nearby, will drop a Bob. Bob in perfect position to contest. Oh, he gets booped off of it. So it's just Heartbeat holding on now. Boots coming back in. Paco Taco here as well. Rip and Pippin, though, won't let the Ash stay alive for long. A good res coming in. The fight still going. Reinhardt just clearing space. Melchezi swinging away from the hammer, but he's in the trench. That's not where he wants to be. Now it's just a Soldier 76 dancing around the outside and nobody to touch. There's no one to touch. Ronaldo on the Hammond coming over the top is just too late to get in. And that, I do believe, is what we call a Charlie Niner.
Yeah, that was a
the business.
Very unfortunate letter number. We saw Flashpoint just kind of was all grouped up near their spawn in the back left of point. They were all kind of doing their own separate thing. And I don't, ExPandable just kind of rushed the point there and was able to get like 4 on it and then just cap it very quickly. Now, that Diva Bomb from Jax was kind of insane. Let's talk about that. That was definitely a fight-winning bomb. We saw Flashpoint's Ryan get a really good shatter, but the bomb just kind of got them while they were all distracted. And that 3K definitely enabled them to win that fight there.
Yeah, you do get the feeling that it kind of broke the back of everything. Coming in as it did, and there was really nothing they could do about it. Perfectly placed Widow, actually really good ult usage by both sides. Credit too for Ronaldo for trying to use his barrage there up on the high ground to stop them from pushing onto that initial grab that kind of broke everything open. It's a shame it didn't really work out. They got nobody with it. It was well placed sound barrier to prevent it.
Yeah, Ronaldo has had some really good barrages that kind of delayed first point, but who's it? It's a Click Clack, I think, on the side of ExPandable Odyssey with that great sound barrier that kind of prevented Flashpoint from doing any damage. Now, we have kind of a Far Mercy dive here from the side of Flashpoint on the attack, and we've got a kind of McCree comp, like a Protect the President comp.
I'm not sure. Normally you don't see the Cowboy coming out there with a more dive-oriented composition, but they're going to give it a try. Maybe he's out there specifically because they're looking for Boots to run that Sombra, and he is sort of a counter, as much as he can counter that particular invisible individual. But he's the best counter you can probably get. So CO sitting on the McCree, trying to chuck a little bit of damage up into the sky, also putting some pressure on Ronaldo early on. Ronaldo, though, we're burning around, playing very cautiously. Here comes the initiation. It's Piper with Heartbeat in the backup, dropping in, but they're backing off now. They're playing this very cautiously, maybe showing a little bit of due respect to the flashbang there. Unfortunately, Ronaldo on the outside doesn't really have anyone around. No mercy to heal is brought down. So they will hold on rather tightly. Melchezi more than happy to push up. Gets an armor pack there as well. Just clear the board.
Yeah, this is a very, very protect the president kind of combo. My team, we run this a lot in stage 1 and not so much in stage 2. But the goal of this comp is to kind of stay with the McCree, and it's a great counter to Far Mercy because McCree's basically got all the healing and tanking he wants. Now, coming into this fight, Flashpoint has the ultimate advantage for sure. They've almost got the barrage, the old fabled barrage, and Ronaldo gets a great boost on the Lucio on the side of ExPandable, and that's just basically enough at this point.
Some early picks are some good picks coming in here, well coordinated. An attempted high noon there, absolutely shut down. Vincent Bubble just dropping in and clearing everything out, and that will pretty much allow them to take this point.
Systems at max.
Objective lost. New defense point. Objective B.
Pause there. We're just sorting out some connectivity issues, and we're back on deck. Widow, you've been looking at the ultimate banks, and you've got some speculation for us.
Yes, I do. Flashpoint has the ult advantage here, like the clear-cut ult advantage. They've, I think they're gonna go for the EMP barrage combo, or even better, I haven't even seen this EMP bomb. I think EMP Diva Bomb, get them all on the point like they're doing now, and then just EMP Diva Bomb them, and they might be able to just snowball with this.
Oh, Rainbow going down.
Rainbow falls.
Yeah, Boots did not have a translocator up. That forced Piper to jump down on the point. There comes the EMP, though, and there is the bomb.
It's a little too high.
Oh, a little too high up into the rafters of the castle. Gets no one. So that's an unfortunate big ult combo. Didn't really work out. Dual support ults now coming out on the side of ExPandable. They're just going to try and push some people back here. It will work. Paco Taco caught in the coalescence beam. Nowhere to go. Will get brought down almost immediately to just end things in the reset there. Back to the drawing board. Boots already at 25% though on another EMP.
Yeah, ExPandable did use both, or not both, two support ultimates there. They used Sound Barrier and they used Coalescence to just kind of, you know, clean up the remaining members of Flashpoint. But now coming into here, Flashpoint does still have the ultimate advantage. They've still got the trademarked C. Ronaldo barrage. And I think they're looking to, you know, kind of take them by surprise here. Maybe dive ExPandable all up on top right and then just barrage from there.
Well, they're looking to pull the fight down to the point. ExPandable more than happy to answer here. Transcendence coming out from Paco El Taco just to keep the team up, but a lot of it wasted going up those stairs. The fight now turning in more of a brawl here. Heartbeat knocked down into the channel. I think Valkyrie, no, it was a res actually to get Ronaldo back in the fight, but Tac Visor coming out from the other side now. Might help clear things out. Ronaldo shuts down the Tac Visor though with a point blank barrage and a bomb over the top. That's two, and I think that'll finish the push. There's not really anything more they can do. Boots desperately trying to flee, won't make it out on the Sombra.
Rainbow did get a really good kind of sneaky res there onto C. Ronaldo, and Ronaldo took out the ulting soldier on the side of ExPandable Odyssey with the barrage, but then you've got Jax with the clutch Diva Bomb there, the 2K, and you know, if you're on defense and attack is already 2 down, that's basically a fight loss because attack has the long con spawn there.
They do indeed. They look like they're resetting now. Thinking about pushing this top hallway, whether or not they want to take the fight up there, not really clear. Heartbeat certainly looks like they want to go for it. Piper not far behind. Here they come again. Melkizzy more than happy just hold on to the high ground. Dive goes in. It's solo Piper. He'll rage into that though. Hell's falling dangerously low, but it will keep him up. Boots with the EMP. Is there anything else that's going to come on the heel of it? There's the bomb buried in the corner. Doesn't really get anything though, but Trimitar is brought down. The mech's taken out as well. Here they are dropping back onto the point. Piper still leading the charge, trying to keep the fight going, but it's 1-3, make it 2-3. Heartbeat dropping in. Mercy's still alive. A lot of members here in the trench, but they're working their way back up. The Diva is completely out of it. Heartbeat has no answer for this. Piper still contesting, still trying to fight, and again, it's back to the drawing board with 2 minutes and 33 seconds left on the clock, and once more, Sombra, desperate to escape, won't quite make it out. What was the last to fall?
Flashpoint did have the ultimate advantage there, and it did look like they were going to win that fight, but I think one of them got picked already, and ExPandable Odyssey, that spawn advantage, it's a really great spawn advantage on the side of the defense here, because they can just kind of group up, like soft group up, all go on the point and just steamroll the remaining members of Flashpoint. Now, coming into this, we do have ExPandable Odyssey with the ultimate advantage here. They've got 2 support ults, and they're just going to rally in now.
There's the rally just keeping things together. Melkizzy more than happy to swing away at the front lines. Paco Taco unleashes the Transcendence, just trying to get through this doorway. They will get through. Piper with a good charge there, trying to clear out the Diva. Won't quite make it work. Are they going to drop down on the point? They are. Big Hammer down too early, though. It only gets Boots. Bomb in over the top. They need to shield it. They will, again, just a little bit too high, and Melkizzy finally going down on the Reinhardt. The fight continuing. Ronaldo doing a great job of just spacing out Seal on that Zarya, trying to prevent them from getting in another bomb, this time from Heartbeat. And manages to get the Lucio out of it. A lot of bodies on point for Flashpoint. Transcendence coming out now. That's Rip and Pippin trying to hold things together. The 2 Reinhardts running into each other at the spawn entrance, trying to clear a little bit of space. Rip and Pippin, speaking of spaces, on the outside. Both these Zenyatta's largely uncontested. Paco El Taco just up here, raining in damage from the high ground, will actually drop down and get in on the action finally. 6-2, holding on to the point. It's just the Diva contesting will be D-Mech. Baby Diva now the only one in the neighborhood, and it's not enough. Flashpoint will take.
Yeah, that was a really great transcendence from Taco El Taco there. They enabled them to just, the side of Flashpoint to just kind of break that choke right there, top right, push in, and then Piper got a pretty good 2-man shatter. I think both died from that shatter, and then it was just kind of staggers.
Indeed, yeah, it was at first I wasn't so sure about the Transcendence Widow, but then once it was through, it actually worked out quite well. It was what they needed to kind of break things open, and again, the Diva Bombs getting some kills as well. Both sides trading those Diva Bombs pretty fast and furious here, I would say.
Yeah, both teams have a pretty similar time bank. 1 minute on the side of Flashpoint as opposed to the somewhat superior 1 minute and 15 seconds on the side of ExPandable. It looks like ExPandable is going for a bunker comp defense here with the Bastion, the Junkrat, and the Orisa here. Well, it seems that Flashpoint is going for more of a traditional Sombra Goats.
I don't know, the Sombra can be very nasty for these sort of bunker compositions, usually a prominent feature of breaking them wide open, right? But with a minute on the clock, do you think they can generate the EMP fast enough to make a difference?
I think if Boots is able to kind of flank to the left and just pepper the side of ExPandable Odyssey, just kind of pepper the tanks or the Bastion maybe, keep their focus, then they can definitely get the EMP in time, but they need to, you know, kind of push in like now. It looks like they're going for a comp change with the Sombra Scout.
Oh, the comp change taking tons of time though. The shield is down. CO is set behind it, ready to receive whatever comes through the door. Farah poking from a distance. Ronaldo just trying to cause a little bit of damage to that shield. And then meanwhile, they've snuck someone onto the point. It's Boots on the Sombra. Will hack the Diva, and that's not a good place to be. Jack's actually going to lose the mech. And Sombra more than happy there. They're rotating the bunker around to where they can toe the line just a little bit better. CO setting up, raining in fire, but Ronaldo is actually in behind them, and Boots and Ronaldo combining, just wiping the point. Malkizzy drops into the corner, can't hold on to it, and they'll take it.
Yeah, that was a really great play from Boots to get on the point there. I feel like ExPandable Odyssey didn't really react in time to, you know, kind of help their Diva. Without a Diva, there's really nothing to eat that Far Mercy combo. Coming into this fight, you see that Flashpoint has... They don't have very many ults. They don't have any at all, actually, but they have more of an advantage than ExPandable Odyssey does. They almost have the EMP, and that's about it on the side of Flashpoint, while ExPandable Odyssey has... They're not close to any ultimates, so this could be a fight win for Flashpoint if they play the cards right.
That EMP could be huge. Malkizzy switching over to the ball here. Triamatar up on the far. They're just going to try and keep the fight going. An early pick, though, on the Soldier was hacked and then brought down. The fight continuing. Malkizzy dropping in. There's the EMP. Malkizzy did not like that. Can't get into ball, can't get away. Just the Diva contesting now. Boots will finally go down, but Valkyrie coming out will keep the team up. Baby Diva holding it down. Seal coming back in as the Tracer fighting around, but it's 5 bodies on the point. They don't look like they're going anywhere. There's the team kill gong on top of all of that. We up nearly 2 points. Malkizzy dropping in again. Will hold on. The shields are out for the Hammond, but it's not enough. Burned down almost immediately. Point blank barrage by Ronaldo just to clear things out. Bomb in 2. Jax tries to touch, won't quite make it. 1 body still on. It's CO, now it's Jax. Nobody around in the immediate area, and they'll take, with very little time in the time bank, they will take both points.
Yeah, that was a really, really, really great attack from the side of Flashpoint. The way they went about kind of diving the backline of ExPandable Odyssey, ExPandable Odyssey already had 1 go down, and then the EMP just kind of solidified the rest of the kills, and that enabled Flashpoint to just, you know, kind of stagger the remaining members of ExPandable Odyssey. And from that, they were able to just, you know, get more ultimates, increase the respawn time for ExPandable, and just kind of snowball it from there. They did use up all their time bank, though, and now it is ExPandable's turn to attack with an extra 15 seconds. And it does look like the Flashpoint is going to run, you know, kind of a similar comp that ExPandable did on defense. They're going for the bunker with the Bastion, the Orisa, the Far Mercy. So that's going to be a lot of damage here onto the choke.
Indeed it is, maybe enough to prevent them from pushing it. I mean, if there was one thing that perhaps defined ExPandable's first attack, it was that they were very hesitant to take too much damage as they were pushing in. So this does look like something they're going to have a little bit of a hard time surmounting. Malkizzy, though, on the ball. I think he's going straight for point, Widow.
Yeah, I feel like that's their kind of best course of attack there. He's really the only one who can get away with flanking, I'd say. They have the Far Mercy on the side of ExPandable, so that's gonna fare great in kind of, you know, peppering the Orisa shield, and just if they can break the Orisa shield and then all kind of converge on the Bastion, they can definitely take this point because they're all kind of grouped up. It's a lot of splash damage from the Pharah. You've got the damage boost there, and it looks like it's Flashpoint is, you know, kind of changing positions here under the stairs of A.
Well, one hamster alone was enough to make them reconsider their defense there. It is a hamster and a battle mech after all, but Melchizzy just it's just good old-fashioned standoff there on the point. Ennio Morricone would be proud. Melchizzy just holding on, won't quite move. Boots is moving up now. They're getting a little bit nervous. 35 seconds on the clock. Nobody really wanting to get tested here. Melchizzy just trying to knock some people out of position. Rolling in, a good anti-nade 2 on the other side. Boots is still alive though. Melchizzy going down. Bastion slept and blasted back to next century by a barrage. Ronaldo trying to answer back, does get one boom kill, but it's not going to be enough. Triamatar showing some dominance there and unleashing that barrage point blank on a sleeping Bastion. Oh, and it hurts. It hurts if you're Flashpoint. That was rough. After all that standing there looking at that hamster to lose it like that.
That was a good Mexican standoff there. Triamatar, he just kind of fed ult off of that diva, and then from there it's just a point blank barrage. Now,
get tricky here.
He's kind of hitting them with the East Coast special here with the, you know, the teleporting Bastion.
Bastion is down. They're gonna have to res him back in. Symmetra still alive somewhere, though. Ronaldo down on the point. No teleporter getting up there for the immediate moment, though. Boots firing away, trying to use the long sight line up there on the high ground. No real contest for it. Somebody's got to touch. Here comes Melchizzy, the hero in the form of the hamster. Will touch for half a second. Won't quite make it. Tank configuration coming out, and that's it. Nobody can touch, and it is over. So Flashpoint taking their second map in the series and rounding us out here on map 3. An extended map 3, Widow, I would say. That was a long one.
Yeah, that was a pretty long one. I really liked that last minute Symmetra switch. They teleported top left. It kind of caught the side of ExPandable Odyssey off guard. And here's the barrage that here's the play that kind of won them the point there. It's just so much damage behind the shield, as everyone in front of the shield, or anyone behind the shield, was kind of focusing on what's in front of them and just allowed the Pharah to just, you know, build ult off of that and then do as much damage as she could.
Rocket behind, Uzi in front. There's only one Orisa shield to go around, so it's a little rough there, but it was very well played, I would say, and all that too, without even, I think, the use of an EMP, just good positioning and good communication that they attacked at the exact same time.
Yeah, that was a really good crossfire from the side of Flashpoint. Now, the next map is going to be King's Row. This is, you know, kind of the token goats map here. So I'm thinking that we're going to see some goats, maybe. I mean, both teams have been really comfortable with running Far Mercy, so we may just see another kind of battle of the skies here with the Far Mercy, but it's going to be either that or I'd say like mirrored goats at this point.
Deke is coming in for Melchizzy here, so there's a swap for the side of ExPandable as we get ready to go into, yes, the goat's home territory of King's Row. Many a goat on the foggy streets of future London, just wandering around doing whatever goats do, trying to cross bridges. I don't know.
Trying to push
payloads, cross bridges, beat up trolls, whatever it is goats do these days. Manicure grass. There's a golf course near my house, and they have goats come and like chew on the grass. Apparently they're good at like maintaining a nice natural level to your grass. Had no idea.
It's smart, dude.
Yeah, you learn something new every day, to be honest. Who knew that the Owlet semifinal would also be discussion of the ecological impact and landscaping impact of goats, but there you go.
I wish Overwatch goats had this much of a good impact.
Yeah, don't we all? But you know, to be fair though, I've never been a hugely against goats. I think it can be quite interesting. It does sort of lack a lot of the flash, though. I think we're used to seeing right from the DPS for so long, especially in dive compositions and whatnot. But it does have its exciting moments. It does have its interesting moments. It's just that the fights can be so long, and I think that's what a lot of people find very sort of the drudgery of it all. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised here, Widow, to see goats coming out from both sides. King's Row is a good map for it. It's an exciting map too. It's one of my it's probably my favorite map in Overwatch if I had to pick one. It's got it all. It's got the aesthetics, it's got good design, it's fun to play. It looks
Uprising.
It's got Uprising coming to a console or PC near you in the next 2 days.
Yeah, who's excited for that? Nobs in Twitch chat.
I'm looking forward to it immensely, to be honest. This is my favorite time of the year. Those PvE missions are what I live for these days, based on my last couple of ladder experiences.
Yeah, ladder is definitely more of a PvE than a PvP.
Yeah,
my team is you know, always the one that's just kind of sitting. In
you're the Omnics.
My team is definitely the Omnics.
You're the Omnics. Yeah, the nice thing about PvE too is the Omnics won't say terrible things about you or your family if they lose. So there's that
Omnics
as well.
don't give me death threats in team chat.
You're right, they don't.
Hello.
How well you play the
Well,
Omnics. They don't program trash talk into the Omnics for whatever reason. Bit of a loss there, really, on their side. Looking on the setup here, and it does look like at least one side coming out with the transitional goats, or the traditional goats, not the transitional goats. Sure enough, the defenders running it, so ExPandable. Meanwhile, on the other side, though, not following for the goats temptation. That looks like double sniper to me.
That does look like double sniper. We've got Ball and Hog. That's a very interesting tank fight up there. They're gonna have to kind of push goats. They don't really have much sustain in terms of shields. What I'd like to see. Oh wait, nope. We're switching to the far. They've got the far mercy.
So it's a 3 DPS with the ball. That is certainly interesting.
The Chengdu comp.
Chengdu comp. Torbjorn briefly featured as well. A staple, of course, of the 3 sniper meta, but this is out of the way. Heartbeat there looking for an early poke. Piper coming in, but doing a good job backing up here is ExPandable Academy. They want to fight him in this corner. It's somewhere that will severely disadvantage the DPS. Ronaldo actually switching over to a Sombra once they get an idea of what they're looking at here. Farah up on the sky, largely uncontested. Diva with an early hack. Piper once again on the ball. Can't really get anything going. Rainbow doing a great job here of supporting the Farah up in the sky, just raining in damage. Ronaldo on the outside on the Sombra trying to chunk in damage in a bit of a dangerous spot. Will be forced to translocate. Piper again comes swinging in. Minefield there trying to force him out of the corner, and Triamatar actually caught in front of the mines. The rest of the team will come forward. Desi sacrificing the shield there to get back to his team. CO now dancing around the point. They're trying to prevent him from picking up a tick. Reinhardt getting hacked in the midst of all that, though. That's not something you want to see. Piper now forcing them back into the hotel lobby. Somebody's got to touch the point to keep him from gaining any more progress, and the rest of the team will push up. Now the kills coming in. A barrage over the top. Heartbeat getting 2. Ronaldo cleaning it up, and that, I think, will signal the end of it. Diva might come in and try and contest just a little bit. No. Gonna retreat, but they're coming after it. Oh, and they lose the mech there at the end, too. Insult to injury, whatever.
Yep. Chengdu comp is this is what Flashpoint is running. Definitely is a great counter to goats, because as goats, really you can only kind of sit in that corner and just hope that the cover will be enough. You've got so many things to worry about. You've got the Sombra in the back line hacking your Ryan. You've got the Far up front. You've got the ball coming in and CCing you to death, you know, every second or so.
Hey there.
And Flashpoint is just kind of push up a bit and hold this corner right here.
Almost tragic, actually, to see a team with all the Chengdu Hunter logos getting the Chengdu comp run on them here, but they're trying their best to restabilize. Piper in the backline just causing havoc. Jesse out on the outside, kind of alone here. Or TC, I should say. Bombs coming in. Big EMP over the top. They've got a lot. They have to follow it up and get some kills in here. Unfortunately, it's Ronaldo who dies first. Zenyatta there to follow in. Heartbeat on this far, actually doing a lot of work here. Rockets right where they need to be at just the right time, and they'll push them back. They might even be moving forward to take point 2 here. And ExPandable Odyssey looking for answers to keep themselves in this playoff series.
Yeah, they do definitely. I feel like they benefit from a comp change. They did switch the Rhine to the Monkey, possibly to dive the Widow, maybe, but it's just not working out for them because the Pharah just does way too much damage, kind of in the front lines.
It's true indeed. Unleashing the Transcendence here to keep him up through the grabs. Good call there. Diva Bomb in over the top. Heartbeat again with another huge barrage, but meanwhile it's answered by a Diva Bomb on the front line. So trading kills backwards and forwards, except they got the advantage of taking the far out of all of this. Piper now in full retreat, trying to get back. Taco will get rezzed very close to the spawn. So the Zenyatta will be back in the fight. Now it's the Winston who's in trouble diving back out. And Piper just causing absolute havoc here in the backline as they come pushing forward again. Piper up over the top, dropping in another huge pile drive. Always seems to know exactly where to go with those. And there's an early pick. It's Brigida out of the match. Continuing to push forward here now. Winston adding to the bloody toll. They're pushing forward. Mines out. just clearing the way, and there's really nothing they can do. They're waiting for a soft reset, I think, back there in by the spawn.
Yeah, this is really unfortunate. I mean, Flashpoint with this comp can just kind of snowball. I mean, they switched off of the Pharah finally. I think they switched to kind of a more standard goats with the Hammond. Big Grab comes out.
But the Transcendence right there to counter keep things up. A rally out as well. Rally used by both teams here. Ronaldo's the last to be used, though, just giving his team a little bit of extra sustain. Here comes the sound barrier added into all this as well. The defenders need that to just continue the fight. 3 minutes and 43 seconds on the clock. Not the time back you want to end with. Coalescence now on the other side of it. Piper causing absolute havoc, rotating around the point. Will fall back. They are driving them back through the streets of the factory here. Boots, though, getting a good pick there early on. Rip and Pip and Moira, not the first person you want to see go down. There goes another support as well. Minefield dropped all over the contest point. That's going to make things very hard here. Winston trying his best. Click-Clack won't even get close, and they're grabbing him off the point and throwing in the bomb. They don't even need the bomb. The Minefield's cleaning up for him. Piper's Minefield there, absolutely deadly at the end with it.
It was a very, very dominant attack from the side of Flashpoint. They had better ult management there, I'd say, and I feel like that last kind of fight, ExPandable got a bit too greedy pushing up. I feel like some of their team was kind of behind, like back at the payload, and some of them were pushed up, and then I think Flashpoint saw that and, you know, kind of took the advantage when they had it right in front of them and just kind of steamrolled, like, you know, from there. And then with the Hammond mines on the point, I mean, there's not much that ExPandable Odyssey could do to kind of contest.
It was a well-placed minefield, and you're right. I do think they kind of overextended there. It was a thin line of ExPandable Odyssey members pushing forward there, trying to get some damage. And it was also, I think, really bad. Widow. The first person to go down was the Moira, Rip and Pippin, getting taken out right at the beginning. That's just rough. That's your main source of healing, of course.
Yeah, that's a loss of a lot of burst heals. So ExPandable Odyssey is kind of going with the what is this? I mean, this is okay. Double sniper. That's what this is. Brain, hello. Double sniper. They've got the solo tanking monkey. Maybe to dive the back line because Flashpoint is going for the bunker comp. It looks like with the Ashe and the Junkrat and Orisa. So this is kind of what they ran on. This is similar to what they ran on defense on Hanamura, and it worked out for them.
Yeah, it would look like a very similar defense. Of course, this is the third win that would clinch Flashpoint this playoff series and send them on to the final. The number 1 seed just trying to hold off the number 4 seed here. A pretty good time bank, so not a lot of pressure. But we'll see exactly how well this bunker comp does against ExPandable Odyssey with something to prove here on this last attack as we go into King's Row. And really,
yeah, they saw what they were running and switched to goats there, like right at the beginning. You know, they're just gonna try to push in and contest point. I'd say maybe try to force the side of Flashpoint to drop down.
Indeed, it does look like what they're doing. They're rotating here through the hotel lobby, trying to just get presence on the point. They want to get underneath, perhaps, somewhere where oh no, they're going for the long flank right around. They want to try and take them on the high ground, I think. They're actually going in through the lobby here, heading up the stairs, and there's the engage, and Orisa doesn't like that. Piper, feeling a little bit nervous there, will be falling back, and it's a big push. A lot of big bodies up in those narrow hallways. Rainbow will get out, but only barely. Drops an anti-nade as a parting gift, but Paco El Taco, the big kill in there, wasn't able to escape. Unfortunately, Zenyatta's both out now, as Rip and Pippin gets taken out by Ronaldo right in the end of that victorious push, and a lot of maneuver. It's a war of maneuver here as they try and move in back on the point. Heartbeat dropping in now, trying to dump in a little bit of damage on that Diva, just contesting the point, but that's a lot of big bodies. Bob coming into the midst of it all, trying to just break things up. Paco El Taco returns with a vengeance on the back line, throwing away the orbs and a tire now as well, committing a significant number of ults. It's Triamatar who goes down first there, and they'll just clean up the rest of the kills. So despite all that maneuvering, not enough to secure them even a tick on the point.
God, that was such a great flank from ExPandable Odyssey. They were able to push the Orisa off and then just go after the remaining members. They caught Paco El Taco out in the open, killed him, and they rushed the Orisa, although kind of unfortunately, Flashpoint had the ult advantage there, and that junk tire really solidified their point when they were able to take out the Brig, which is their main source of healing right then and there. And, you know, after that, it's just kind of clean up for the rest. I think they're going to go for the same flank again.
They are indeed. Looks like they're thinking about rotating around the backside, and they might just go for it. Paco Otako in that kind of awkward positioning again. Piper now playing the Reinhardt, doesn't want to get pushed again as the Orisa, and Boots looking to set up a deadly crossfire here when they come up the stairs. I don't think they're entirely going to be expecting that. Trap right on the ground, gets destroyed almost immediately. Here they come. Boots needs to start putting in some damage on the back line. Won't quite make it. Grab is eaten. Oh no, and it's all sorts of ultimates being unleashed. It's a Technicolor light show up here in the hallway. Piper getting 2 with the fire strike, make another one for Ronaldo with the mines, and they'll clear it out there and in the hallway of death, and they will secure the point. The only casualty for the attack or for the defenders was Ronaldo, and they will be forced to get a reset.
Yeah, that's a really good strat if you run it once. I mean, they went for the same thing. Flashpoint kind of predicted it. They took the right positioning, and then ExPandable Odyssey just kind of pushed a small hallway with the Junkrat, and that's so much damage there, and especially Heartbeat with the Great Eat, of CO's Grav, and they just won the fight right then and there because they had such superior damage with the Junkrat in that small hallway.
Well, looking like just 30 seconds left here in the playoff hopes for ExPandable Odyssey. They have to pick up this map if they want to stay alive. Riptire coming in looking to spoil all their hopes and dreams. It's floating around the back line for a while, can't quite find a target. Running out of seconds, gotta find someone. Gets the Mercy, it's huge. Gets the 2 supports in the back line. Oh no, and that might signal the end of this. Winston jumping onto the point. They're going to try and get a soft reset in as quickly as they can. They need their supports to come back. There's less than 10 seconds left alive. They lose the Diva mech in the midst of it. Desi doing a great job just kind of holding on, trying to jump in and out, trying to keep things alive, but now there's really no one who can touch. There's not going to be a touch! And Flashpoint wins with a full hold on point 1 of King's Row, and I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that means they take this win and head to the finals of the minor division here in Season 2.
That is right, they just won the team fight. I mean, purely based off of that drunk tire. We've got both the Mercy and the Lucio. Here's the fight in that hallway I was talking about. I mean, you've got the damage of the Junkrat, they nanoed Ryan in there. It was just kind of a massacre.
A lot of bright colors. There's a lot of flashing lights in the midst of that fight. Good lord. Yeah, you're right. It was kind of a massacre. Really nothing they can do, and then unfortunately they just weren't able to keep the point alive there at the end. So they'll take the W here. ExPandable put up a decent fight, but in the end, just not enough, Widow.
Yeah, I feel like they could have benefited from a comp switch there, like maybe a last minute kind of Far Mercy type of thing, catch them by surprise. Paco Otako was kind of playing right in that window. They could have killed him and then rushed the point from there, force the members of Flashpoint to jump down. But they just kind of stuck with the same comp, and they didn't really, build up their ultimates enough to just go in ham with like 5 ultimates.
Indeed. Well, it was a well-played game all around. Some exciting Overwatch, some big plays, lots of very exciting ultimate usage, to be honest. We saw huge Diva bombs, very good Riptires unleashed at various points in the evening. But it was some exciting Overwatch. I think that about wraps us up here for this Owlet broadcast. Anything you want to add here at the end, Widow? Anything that you're looking forward to? Or any final observations?
Final observations. Okay, let's see. So both teams had their own strengths and weaknesses. Okay, we had ExPandable, who had pretty great ult management, but we had Flashpoint, who was, kind of willing to adapt in terms of positioning and just, communication, grouping together, peeling for each other. And I think that gave them the advantage to win. I mean, both teams have great players. Both teams, had the coordination, had the ultimate combos, but in the end, it was just Flashpoint who did it better.
Sometimes doing it better is just what you need to do, I guess. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that just about wraps us up here. Thank you so much for tuning into the semifinals match here in Season 2 of Owlet Minors Division. It will be the #1 seed, Flashpoint, taking the win over the underdogs, ExPandable Odyssey, to keep their dreams alive and push them on to the finals. From all of us here in the broadcasting booth, that's Corbec, myself, Widow, and SilentMarine on the production. We thank you very much for watching. Do keep in mind that another matchup is coming your way. It'll be Ghost Peppers versus Furious Unicorns in the majors for you to watch. Seed number 2 and seed number 6 clashing hopefully putting on a good show for you as well. But from all of us here at Owlet, thank you so much for tuning in to our broadcast, and have a wonderful evening.
Yep, good night.